Pirate 101 is heading into one of its most uncertain years ever. The devs have already said there's only one planned Skyway in the next 5 years. That alone sums up what the future will be. With that said, 2026 might be the most skeptical year this game will ever have. So I want to talk about it, what I want to see and what's possible, and what might just be wishful thinking for the game. For Pirate 101 to succeed, we have to figure out what needs to be changed and would keep Pirate 101 alive long term. Let's start with one issue that annoys me most, the UI. The devs tried to fix it back in 2023, but instead of improving it, they actually made it worse in my opinion. People may like the change in icon size, but it created a bigger problem. For example, when you get an image, it's now just not visible. So like, you could be questing through the game, and you first learn the map piece, you get your first map piece, and it's not visible. It ruins the storytelling experience, and it may ruin first impressions for new players who are just questing through it for the first time. When you get companion dialogue on the top left corner, it's now blocked by the crown chop icon and menu chat, and you can't read it anymore. So I hope in 2026 they fix this UI problem if they are hoping to retain newer players who are questing through it for the first time, because it likely kills immersion because they have no clue what's going on, and they probably quit. And also, they created this problem. This problem didn't exist before 2023. I don't know, it could be a non-major problem, but to me it is. If you're like a person that skips dialogue and quests through it, it won't be a big deal, but if you're paying attention and reading the dialogue or listening to it, this is a problem. To me, the story is one of the things that make Pirate 101 great, and the images not showing ruins the immersion of the story. It either takes away a funny moment or it takes away an important moment that is crucial to the plotline. So I believe it needs to be fixed. Next, I want to see a continuation of the yearly episodes, which is very likely because they've been doing this for, 4 years now? But I want to see more. I would like to see side quests now because we haven't had that since Valencia 2. Ship combat, which we also haven't had since Valencia 2. A difficulty curve similar to Trianon, because what ended up happening before was like with Sinbad Part 2 and 3, the enemies would one-shot your companions like instantly. And then if we're lucky, I would love to see 5 more levels, but I don't think we're going to get that this update. But I do expect them to release gear that will have us farming them until 2027 and then a new pack, because that's what they usually do. But we are missing something. I would love to see them return. The older characters, like the Presidio crew and Gunswell and the very first companion. These companions make the gameplay unique to your class or the Presidio companion you chose. Without them, it just feels like bland, not so unique to your class you have. And they used to have like a major role, and now it's just absent. I can see why they haven't returned though. They require a lot of voice actors, and I assume King's Isle doesn't want to pay extra money for voice actors on a game that is struggling, I would say. I'll say this about voice acting. I expect the next update to have great voice acting like the last one. They're very good at getting voice actors for this game. Outside of story updates, nothing has been modernized since like 2015. The only actual changes they have done was the UI, which as I said, made things worse, and then stagecoaches in Aquila and Mushu. And then they, in 23 or 24, they shortened the first time user experience in Skull Island, so you get to the paywall quicker. And then like they added fast combat in 2015, so like nothing has really changed that much. I already covered what I thought about combat in another video. If you like to know, I'll link it at the end of the video. But ship combat needs to be reworked. It needs to be totally overhauled. You just sit there and spam the buttons 1, 2, 3, and 4 for 2 minutes. It is just pure brain rot gameplay. It probably won't happen in 2026, but it needs to happen at some point. Especially in Cool Ranch with the English build arc and before Port Regal defeating 10 ships in a row, it just makes you want to quit. And sometimes people do quit because of it. Because some people probably think, why do this when I could play literally any other game? Also, I think they need to guide new players better with ships because, for example, when I got my first ship in the Presidio quest, I never understood why it had 2 abilities for the longest time instead of 4. I didn't know I needed to get ship equipment for it, and it's just a simple fix, and there was no pop-up for it. Usually you get Boochbeard popping up saying, hey, you need to clear out your backpack or something. There's no Boochbeard for your ship equipment. And I also feel like they could do better quality of life stuff, like better crew management, better equipment management, better gold usage. Like companion tones are too scarce right now. And if you're a new player, you're gonna get screwed once you get to max if you use them all. If you're an experienced player, you know you have to piggy bank them while questing and only like upgrade 3 companions along the way and maybe the story one so you can promote them. I understand if they can't rework the systems, but eventually they have to do something to fix the game or improve the game in a better spot for newer players if newer players ever come. None of the improvements I mentioned will matter if they don't focus on the real problem that affects everything, the paywall. Most players quit as soon as they see it, as they only get 6 free levels and then you're told to pay. There's no real hook or anything, it's just guns, gold, and Aztec dinosaurs. So nothing to really make you care about the game yet. My idea would be move the paywall right before Valencia 1, where you get your first map piece, which is what sets up the whole story. You get to see the cool Armada puppet show, the cool Eldorado puppet show, and then you get to defeat Finn Dorsal after like your second or third time. And then you're basically left on a hook because then you have to go to Valencia and you go, ooh, let's get our next map piece. But no, you have to pay then. And then right now, they probably just hit the paywall and leave. And then another issue they have is they don't advertise the games at all. Wizard 101, Pirate 101 used to have ads on TV and YouTube ads in 2014. Now it's just crickets. Nothing. King's Isle completely relies on content creators to advertise their games for them. It just gives you the same old players who either quit or just haven't played in years, leaving you with very few new players. And the ones you do get, 9 out of 10 probably quit by the time they hit the paywall. Wizard 101 took 15 years just to make Wizard City free, so odds are they won't move Pirate 101's paywall. But without doing that or marketing it, I don't know how they expect their player base to grow if they don't address their major issue. I know they have a 5-year plan for the story, but do they have a 5-year plan for growing the community and improving the game overall? In 2026, they have to consider what I already mentioned. Fix the UI issues, because that will fix first impressions and block dialogue that hurts the story. Bring back older story characters to bring back the game's identity and uniqueness to the classes. Improve ship combat. Improve ship combat in a way where it's engaging and it doesn't make people want to quit. Add clearer tutorials and pop-ups, also mostly focus on ship combat, but just in general to help new players out. And then fix the paywall. Either move it back further, advertise the game, or do both. They really should do both. But I don't think most of this will happen this year, or even the next year. 2026 could be another year of waiting for something, or of a year decline if they don't fix any of these issues. Right now, this game seems like it's surviving instead of growing. It seems like every year, instead of making a big improvement, it seems like they put a band-aid or a patch to the tire. But hey, let me know down in the comments what you think. Is the game improving, or are the devs still not doing enough? If you have any ideas that I missed, please let me know. I'd like to read them. Anything to make this game better should happen, in my opinion. Just right now, it seems like they're tight on money, and it can only update so much while sharing resources with Wizards. Thank you for watching.